Trump just tacked on a random lie because, why not? When he was talking about German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
I have great respect for Angela, and I have great respect for the country. My father is German, right? Was German.
Yes. It's true. Frederick Trump was born in a very wonderful place in Germany.
Mike Huckabee is considering Iran. Mike Huckabee said the president was raised in Kenya, went to a Muslim school, and he hates America. Despite that, he still seems like a sweet person. So he sounds less like a presidential candidate and more like my aunt. And then, of course, there's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke. Donald Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head. If you're at the Washington Post table with Trump and you can't finish your entree, don't worry, the fox will eat it. And if I can for a moment talk about the birther issue, when did we get so suspicious about where people were born? A USA Today poll last week said 38% of Americans think the president was definitely born in the US. In the same poll, in the very same poll, only 5% more said Donald Trump was definitely born in the US. Has it reached the point where Americans only think someone was born here if they saw it? I know I was born here, and I know my younger brother was born here. But when it comes to my older brother, I can only take him at his word. Gary Busey said recently that Donald Trump would make a great president. Of course, he said the same thing about an old rusty birdcage he found. Donald Trump owns the Miss USA pageant, which is great for Republicans because it will streamline their search for a vice president. Donald Trump said recently he has a great relationship with the blacks, though unless the blacks are a family of white people, I bet he's mistaken. I like that Trump is filthy rich, but nobody told his accent. His whole life is models and gold leaf and marble columns, but he still sounds like a know-it-all down at the OTB. Mr. Trump may not be a good choice for president, but he would definitely make a great press secretary. How much fun would that be? Kim Jong-il is a loser. His latest rally was a flop. I feel bad for Ahmadinejad. He never man wears a windbreaker. He has no class. I, on the other hand, sell my own line of ties. You can find them at Macy's in the flammable section. So it's not a strong field. And who knows if they can beat you in 2012. But I tell you who could definitely beat you, Mr. President. 2008, Barack Obama. You would have loved him. I still think we all remember that inauguration day. The First Lady was there. And may I say, for as beautiful as you looked that day, you look even more beautiful tonight. Now you, on the other hand, Mr. President, have aged a little. What happened to you? When you were sworn in, you looked like the guy from the Old Spice commercials. Now you look like Louis Gossett Sr.
The German chancellor was sitting right beside him when Trump pointed toward the man's country and claimed that his father had been born there.
Don't forget, both my parents were born in EU sectors, okay? I mean, my mother was Scotland, my father was Germany. My father's from Germany. Both of my parents are from the EU. I have great respect for Angela, and I have great respect for the country. My father is German, right? Was German. Born in a very wonderful place in Germany.
Trump just tacked on a random lie because, why not? When he was talking about German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
I have great respect for Angela, and I have great respect for the country. My father is German, right? Was German.
Yes. It's true. Frederick Trump was born in a very wonderful place in Germany, New York City, in 1905.
My father was born in a wonderful part of Germany, very West Germany, and
Fred Trump was born in the Bronx, New York, in 1905. That detail appears in the New York Times obituary and, according to the account, had been directly corrected to Trump's face 4 separate times before this particular moment. Yet he repeated the claim while speaking to the actual Chancellor of Germany. It was delivered with complete confidence. The kind of certainty that comes from deciding that how many times a fact has been corrected no longer matters. Colbert walked straight to his desk, carrying a single sheet of paper, and sat down without his usual entrance. The audience seemed to understand before he said anything that whatever was written on that page had justified the unusual entrance. He said he had Fred Trump's birth certificate and allowed the camera to move in close enough to read it. Bronx, New York, October 11th, 1905. Not Germany, never Germany, the Bronx. The audience laughed, then the laughter faded because the joke and the warning arrived at almost exactly the same moment. Together, they created a reaction that was neither entirely laughter nor entirely alarm. Colbert then reached into the folder and produced a second document, a documented interview in which Trump said, "My father is German, was German, born in a very wonderful place in Germany." Corrected, he pulled out another page, CBS News coverage documenting Trump making the claim that his father was born in Germany. Corrected again. Then another page, a 2020 Fox News appearance, the same claim, corrected once more. 4 corrections, 4 different years, 4 separate occasions when someone had shown him the evidence establishing where his father was actually born. And now, while sitting beside the German chancellor, Trump pointed toward the man's country and repeated the claim again. If you grew up in a time when a person's word was expected to match what he knew about his own family, you could already see what Colbert was building before he lifted the birth certificate for the final time. This is the same man who has told the country that he has one of the greatest memories anyone has ever had. The same man who has said he attended Wharton and finished at the top of his class. The same man who has said he performed so exceptionally on a cognitive test that doctors were shocked. And now, according to this account, he could not remember where his own father was born. If you haven't subscribed to the World Movement yet, hit the button. Colbert raised Fred Trump's birth certificate one last time and held it toward the camera. It is always listed Bronx, New York. 4 corrections still could not make the document say Germany. The pattern repeats. Do we slow it down?